What's up guys, I'm Tom Balogne, this is Malone Post, and today we're going to be checking out the Neewer small LED light panels. Now you're going to want to stick around all the way to the end of this video because we're going to show you how to get the absolute maximum value out of these light panels if you're using them for filming and photography right now. So we picked up both of these panels in a 2-pack on Amazon. They will be linked in the description down below so you can pick it up directly through there. Now when you pick it up, you do get both of the lights that come with the tripods. You also get 6 different filters here. Now the reason they only give you 6 is basically for each light. They give you a yellow for both, a red for both, and then a blue for both as well. And the theory is that way you can make, any color on the spectrum by combining them. Now with these light panels right now, they are powered by USB. So you need to plug into either like a laptop or USB ports on like your wall outlet or something like that to power these. They're not battery powered. You do have one switch on them as well. So you basically just have a basic on-off switch, and then you can just lower the brightness up and down. There's like probably 10 different settings on here that you kind of just have to click through. And that's how you're gonna get your full brightness out of these. Now, when you're looking at the tripod for these, it's actually really convenient the way it breaks down on here. And so you can take apart any piece and you can kind of like customize what you're trying to do. So to make this tripod extend, all you do is you just give that piece a little twist, and then anywhere along this range here, you just turn it back to the right and you can make it go to that height. So there's actually a lot of adjustability built into this thing. Now, if you want it to be lower, like the way I actually use it right now, I prefer to just take the entire setup off here. Oh God, I just take that off. This piece pops off of here. And then from there, you can just directly connect it to the top tripod if you do want to go with like a really low view. Now, personally, I use it this way because I like it for like setting like a background mood for current videos I'm making. So I'll leave it like this. And then you also have an adjustment knob on the side here that you can basically adjust this forward and back as much as you want. So right now I kind of rock them both at this angle right here. Now we could talk a little bit about the filters. So they do give you 3 here for each light. If I was gonna use these filters, I'd really only use one at a time. And you do get a pretty decent effect when you pop these in for like the blue. Now, the problem is each of them works really well on their own. But if you say you do wanna combine 2 of them to create purple here, number 1, it actually doesn't fit really well in here to fit 2 at the same time. Number 2 is if you are able to get both in there, it actually drastically reduces the amount of light output that this thing has. So I actually will only use it with 1 filter here if I'm using the standard filters that it did come with. Now there's really only 2 reasons I could see someone like picking up these, maybe 3. So one would be if you just have like a really compact setup at home and you want to add like a little bit of light, right? Just like a little bit of accent, you can use this for that. This is not something that you can replace an entire softbox with. In fact, buying 2 of these for this price is almost pretty like similar to buying a softbox. So I would actually go with a softbox for that. But if you need something handheld, you can kind of move around really small stuff with, it works really well for that. It's also really good for background lighting. You can set it up to have like a couple different colors, 1 on each, and you can project it 2 different ways. That's how I use it. And then also if you're kind of on the go and you need like a really quick lighting option, this works really well for that as well, especially that you can collapse the tripod down and kind of just hold it and do stuff with. Now there's really only a couple drawbacks with this setup. Number 1, it's gonna be the USB power that it needs. And this is something we actually figured out when we were filming today. So with this currently at my other setup, I have both of these plugged into USB outlets in the wall. It runs perfect. The problem is when we're trying to run it through a laptop here, so we're just trying to connect it to power, have both running into the same thing here, right? Watch what happens when we try and turn both on at the same time. Kills them both. So for some reason, the power output that these have does not work if you're using like a brand new MacBook Pro where you have to use like a USB-C switcher to run both of these on there. Also, one thing I noticed for the first time when I was trying to run them for a prolonged period of time, they do shut themselves off after about a half hour. So if you want this to be something you can just turn on and leave in the background, it's not really gonna work for you that way. You kind of have to go back on, turn them back on. But that is obviously, easy enough to do. So we do have a couple different filters, might as well show you them all. So we have the blue one here. This is gonna be your standard red one here as well. we're gonna get a very quick shot of this. Okay, and then here's gonna be the yellow. Now the yellow doesn't really do a lot, to be honest, if you are trying to use it for stuff. I kind of would only use it if I was like trying to create a green with the blue, but like I said before, it doesn't really work well in that manner. But for the purpose I'm using them, having these things like collapse really easy, they work really well and they actually travel really well too. To collapse them down, all you have to do is say, you know, you just unplug your cord. With this, you can either like put this in like a carrying case or something if you do want to keep it secure. It does just twist onto the mechanism at the top, so you can just completely pop that piece off if you want. And then the thing I actually really like about it is with this little tripod here, this collapses down, but it actually fits into a little screw that they have in the bottom here. So when you're traveling with this, all you have to do, screw that into the bottom, and now it all travels as one piece, and you can pop out the tripod and use that if you need to, or if you don't need to, just toss it to the side. The last thing we want to show you, if you do want to get the maximum value for this kit where you're not going to be stuck in situations where you're just stuck with a blue or just stuck with a red, the best thing that you can do when you pick this up, we'll have it linked down below as well. Now you're going to want to pick up a pack of the Neewer filters as well. This is a pack of I think 16 filters, gives you 2 of each color that comes in this pack. And this just gives you a lot better range of colors when you're looking to do stuff with this. So you have, and again, another blue, you have a couple of yellows, you have 2 different purples, a couple greens. It actually gives you a lot more options with this. And you'd rather just have the right color filter instead of like stacking them and trying to make the color you want. So for just a couple extra bucks, I would highly recommend picking up that pack with it. And basically your options are endless at that point, the amount of colors you can get with this thing. There you guys go. Now don't forget, if you did like this video, go ahead and hit that like button. That way we know what kind of videos you do want to see in the future. Subscribe as we put out videos like this every single week. Thanks for watching. I'm Balogne. This is Malone Post.